When I was a kid, the New York Yankees were the model franchise in baseball. They had a core of young homegrown players, a few very solid veterans, led by Joe Torre, and they won 4 World Series in 5 years. After 2002, they seem to have lost their way, and although they seem to be bringing back some of their old tactics, they had a lot of bad contracts over the last 2 decades. Today, let's pick out the worst ones. First, a couple trades. These didn't work out so great, and in both cases, they got some ancient pitchers. Randy Johnson was 40 years old when he posted a .260 ERA over 35 starts in Arizona, so he was old but still great. In 2005, he goes to the Yankees and he couldn't find it. He gave up almost twice as many home runs compared to the year prior, still ending with a decent .379 ERA, then followed that up with a 5 ERA in 2006, so it seems like he was right at his tipping point when he went to New York. There was also Kevin Brown, signing a monster deal in Los Angeles, then being traded to the Yankees for the 2004 season. That .239 ERA from 2003 turned into .409, spending some time on the DL after punching a wall. He also started Game 7 of the ALCS, giving up 5 runs into the 2nd inning, the death blow for the Yankees season. At age 40, he started the 2005 season, but he only made 13 starts, posting a .650 ERA, and he was done. Number 5. AJ Burnett. Maybe you give this guy a pass because of how important he was in the 2009 playoffs. Yeah, he did have a .527 ERA, but that was driven by 2 bad starts on the road, one in Anaheim, one in Philly. But in each of the Yankees' 3 series, he also had a great game that led to a win. The Yankees signed him prior to that 2009 season for 5 years, $82.5 million, and in his first year, he had a .404 ERA, pitching 207 innings. That was pretty much all they got. He gave the team a full season in 2010 and 2011, but he posted ERAs of .526 and .515. Each year, leading the league in either walks, hit by pitch, or wild pitches. After the 2011 season, the Yankees traded him to the Pirates, getting back 2 prospects and paying $20 million of the $33 million they still owed him. Do the Yankees win the 2009 World Series without Burnett? Maybe not, and I guess that's the only solace Yankee fans can take in this contract. Number 4. Aaron Hicks. In his first 4 years in the league, including his first with the Yankees in 2016, he was a below-average offensive player. He was hitting .223, .644 OPS, .77 OPS+. Then, he enters his prime at age 27, and he has 2 really good seasons, pushing that OPS into the mid-800s, 2018 being his best year, almost doubling his career high in home runs, finishing with 27. It looked like his career was just taking off, so the Yankees signed him to a 1-year, $6 billion contract, and right after, signed a 7-year, $70 million extension. He started the 2019 season injured, making his debut in mid-May, and then injuring his elbow later in the year, only playing 59 games, hitting .235 with a .769 OPS. He came back and was a little better in 2020, his OPS up at .793, but it's been a slow slide since. He had wrist surgery in 2021, only playing 32 games and hitting .194 with a .627 OPS. He played a full season in 2022, but he wasn't much better, .216 average and a .642 OPS. And in 2023, he was only hitting .188 with a .524 OPS over 28 games, and the Yankees were done with him. They DFA'd him on May 20th, and 10 days later, he would resurface with the Orioles. Number 3. Kei IGAWA. 2 weeks before signing IGAWA, the Yankees lost their bid for Daisuke Matsuzaka. The Red Sox won that bid, spending over $51 million, so the Yankees wanted to respond. They went out and got Kei IGAWA, spending $26 million in the posting fee, even though his performance was declining over the past 2 years. He got a pretty modest 5-year, $20 million deal, but even that wasn't worth it. In 2007, he started off in the majors, but he wasn't good, and he was sent to the minors to work things out. He would be up and down all year, on waivers, off waivers. Ultimately, had a .625 ERA over 12 starts and 2 appearances out of the bullpen. 2008 was more of the same, up and down, making 1 start and being lit up, only pitching 4 innings at the major league level and giving up 6 earned runs. Brian Cashman tried to sell his contract back to Japan, but IGAWA didn't want to go. He stayed in the minors through 2009, 2010, and 2011, and that $20 million contract finally expired. He wanted to stay in America and sign with a new team, but ended up going back to Japan. For those $20 million, the Yankees got 13 starts and a .666 ERA. Number 2. Carl Pavano. In Game 4 of the 2003 World Series, Pavano was on the mound for the Marlins, and he shut down the Yankees for 8 innings, allowing 1 run, a game the Marlins would eventually win in a walk-off. You know the Yankees remembered that, and then Pavano comes back in his contract year and has the best season of his career. 31 starts, 222 innings, and a 3 ERA. This was his one and only All-Star season, finishing 6th for the Cy Young. The Yankees had to have him, and apparently, Pavano wanted the Yankees too, taking about $10 million a year, even when other teams were offering more. He started off pretty good, but 2 months into the season, he landed on the DL. He only made 17 starts that year and had a .477 ERA. 2006 was also plagued with injuries, never pitching in the majors, getting injured during spring training, breaking his ribs in a car accident mid-season. He got the ball on opening day in 2007, but he hurt his elbow after just 2 starts. He needed Tommy John surgery, and his season was over. He came back in August of 2008, starting 7 games and posting a .577 ERA. His contract came to a merciful end after the 2008 season, making no friends in the clubhouse, in the stadium, or in the front office. They had asked his agent to take a minor league contract in 2007, trying to clear space on their 40-man roster, but his agent turned them down. So, what did $40 million get the Yankees? 26 starts, 145 2/3 innings, and a 5.0 ERA. He went on to pitch 4 more seasons, and ironically enough, he made at least 32 starts in each of his next 3 years. I'm sure Yankee fans love to see that. Number 1. JACOBY ELLSBURY. In his early years in Boston, he wasn't even a league average hitter, but he stole 50 bases in his rookie year of 2008, and then stole 70 in 2009. He spent most of 2010 injured, and then came out and set the world on fire in 2011. He played in all but 4 games, hit .321, 32 homers when he had never even cracked double digits up to that point, 105 RBI, .928 OPS, and finished second in the MVP vote. He had an injury-plagued 2012 season, but returned pretty strong in 2013, stealing 52 bases, hitting .298 and a .781 OPS. He became a free agent and the Yankees picked him up. 7 years, $153 million, and an option for an 8th year that would bring the contract up to $169 million. He would be making almost $22 million a year. A guy who was about league average except for one amazing year. And even though he was an elite base stealer, he was already 30 when he signed the contract. He played a full season in 2014 and that was his best year with the team. .271 average, 16 homers, .747 OPS, 39 stolen bases, and it would just slide downhill from there. That was the only year his OPS plus was over league average, only hitting 23 homers in his last 3 years with the team, a .261 average and .702 OPS, 89 OPS plus. In 2017, he lost his starting job to HICKS, then to Clint Frazier, and it turns out his baseball career was over. He was injured for the entire 2018 season, suffering from an oblique and a hip. Then he was out for the whole 2019 season, this time from a shoulder and plantar fasciitis. The Yankees released him, trying to buy out his contract for $26 million, then trying to pay him nothing, saying that he received unauthorized medical treatment. The case entered arbitration, and they sided with ELLSBURY, the Yankees owing him the rest of the contract. Between 2018 and 2021, the Yankees paid him $68 million, and he didn't even play a single game for them. So there you go, the worst contracts in recent memory. There were a few more I left off here, including another Red Sox that turned to the dark side and just stole the Yankees' money. Before the 2013 season, Kevin Youkilis signed a 1-year, $12 million deal, but it was one back injury after another, ending in surgery, and for that money, he only put in 28 games, hit .219, 2 homers, 8 RBI, finishing the season with a .648 OPS. That was still better than Pedro Feliciano. He signed a 2-year deal worth $8 million back in 2011, but he had issues with his shoulder, blamed on the Mets overusing him year after year, and they had a point. He led the league in appearances from 2008 to 2010, 86, 88, and 92. He had surgery, which also knocked him out for the 2012 season, and he never made an appearance for the Yankees. Finally, keep an eye on DJ LeMahieu. He came to the Yankees in 2019 on a 2-year, $24 million deal, and he was phenomenal. Those 2 years, he hit .336 and had an OPS of .922. The Yankees re-signed him for 6 more years, a deal worth $90 million, and he went from an MVP frontrunner to about a league average player. This is year 3 in that deal, and he's hitting .261 with a .718 OPS. He's about to turn 35, so I'm not sure if this is going to get better or worse, but the Yankees might have to eat a lot of that money. Let me know what you think of this list, and if any other players should have gotten a mention here. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and love baseball, please give me a sub. It's not just the Yankees. I have a playlist with other teams and their bad contracts. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.